Hey guys, so, first episode of the new season of Steven Universe just started, of the In Too Deep is what they're calling this. Gem Drill was the first episode. From this episode, instead of doing two episodes per 30 minutes, this was a full 30-minute episode, which just seems like they did, like, it wasn't officially said, but it was like a Gem Drill Part 1 and Gem Drill Part 2, which there were minutes apart. So the beginning of the episode starts out with the watermelon Stevens that we have seen in previous episodes. They're on their own island. Looks like they're celebrating, and one gets a star painted on him and goes off to a cliff, and it seems like he's gonna be a sacrifice, and essentially he is. He ends up being a sacrifice for Malachite, who we see is still bound, but Lapis is losing power, controlling Jasper, and obviously the Malachite eats the watermelon Steven, and Steven wakes up because he's sleeping with the gems. It seems like they just finished the drill or taking a break or something, and he tells them he knows Malachite is where she is, and what's going on, and they feel a disturbance. The earth is rumbling. So the gems, Pearl, Amethyst, and Garnet, go to the Watermelon Island, leaving Steven and Peridot with the drill to go try and stop Malachite. And they fuse into Alexandrite, and a really awesome battle ensues between Malachite and Alexandrite, and eventually they do split Lapis and Jasper, which is great, because it's obvious that Lapis doesn't have the strength anymore to control Jasper, and as she took control over the fusion between them. It was really badass. It was probably one of the better fights that we've had in the show for a while. But yeah, so the gems win. Steven actually helps the gems during the battle by going back to sleep. Apparently he's able, while sleeping, to then take over one of the Watermelon Stevens, and he was able to command all the other Watermelon Stevens to help the gems during the fight, which, if it wasn't for him, they would have probably lost. But yeah, so after they win, Lapis and Jasper are separated. The cluster is breaking things up, and we lose Jasper. She while unconscious falls down into a crater, and we don't know what happened to her. But Warp Pad was destroyed during the fight, so the gems are stuck on the island. So they tell Steven through one of the Watermelon Stevens that he and Peridot have to go stop the cluster, go down the drill, and we get a very quick emotional of the gems telling Steven that he can do it, that they love him, that he's the man, whatnot. And yeah, so then Steven and Peridot go into the drill. We get some really quick emotional from Peridot, who she's finally, it seems like she's accepted that she's part of the Crystal Gems, and that even though that she accepts that she's part of the gems and they accept her, she still misses Homeworld because it's all she's known prior to this. But she knows she can't go back, and that what she's doing is for the better, for the good. And of course we get a cute little thing where Steven says that he loves her and hugs her. But as they're drilling, they're attacked by many of the cluster monsters, and Steven starts to feel funny. It's like he's connecting with the cluster, and as they get closer, they try and drill the cluster, and while not stated, it's almost like the souls or the energy of all the gems are fighting back against the drill, and they're trying really hard not to form. It turns out through Steven kind of blacking out and going into like a weird, I don't know, I guess into his head, he connects with the cluster. He finds out that the cluster doesn't want to form. Essentially, all the cluster is nothing but other gems that are completely broken up. And they just want to be whole again, but they don't want to be whole as a cluster. They want to be whole as themselves. But right now it's not possible. So Steven helps the cluster bubble itself up to keep itself contained for now. And I got a feeling that this is going to lead to a whole population of gems on Earth from the cluster, because essentially the cluster is nothing but gems that have been completely broken, shattered, and then forced fusion together into this big old mess. But for right now, he was able to connect with the cluster and get it to essentially calm down, so it doesn't form and blow up the Earth. Which this is a new power for Steven with being able to connect. We don't know if this is because he's a hybrid. So much went on in this 30 minutes. Oh my god. But yeah, so I mean, he was able to connect, so this may have been a power from Rose. This may be a power because he's a hybrid. I mean, essentially, they've written Steven as kind of like the chosen one, so this may just be an ability just because of that. But yeah, it was a powerful episode. I mean, Steven was able to stop the cluster from forming for now, and they get back to the surface. The other gems are there. He tells them what happened. They're amazed. Steven's amazed with himself. And that's really about it. I may have missed it. I'm pretty sure they probably grabbed Lapis. It would have been kind of silly if they just left her there. I'm sure they grabbed her with her. Obviously, like I said earlier, Jasper, for right now, is gone. She fell into a crack in the earth. Obviously, she's going to come back with vengeance. Hopefully, they'll be able to heal Lapis and have her join, since they, have Peridot as well, and probably show that, hey, we have Peridot too. Come on, it's okay to be with us. But man, this was just a really great episode. I've been waiting forever, along with everybody else, for new episodes of Steven Universe. It just sucks that it's one episode per week for several weeks now. I'm going to try and do these reaction videos for every episode. Next week's episode, I unfortunately won't be able to, because I will be in Rosemont for Anime Central, covering that, but I will definitely do a reaction video for the episode after that, and I'll probably talk about next week's episode, so it'll be a dual episode talk about. Also, I did live tweet today's episode, so I'll definitely do that again for future episodes as well, as long as I'm able to. And I want these reaction videos to be a thing, especially with Steven Universe. Really briefly, I just want to say, at first, I kind of was on the hate bandwagon of this show for various reasons, but the more I watched it, the more I did enjoy it. And then the person who I am dating currently also enjoys it, so it's something that we share in common very much. But yeah, so anyway, but yeah, this was great. Gem Drill was the episode, and I can't wait to see next week's episode and all the others. But yeah, please like, comment, subscribe to this video. What did you think of the episode? Let me know. Do you have any theories? Anything popped your head from watching this? Did anything get clear? Were there any questions that after watching this you're like, oh man, this all makes sense now? Or I didn't know what was going on, now I do, but whatever. Let us know in the comments below. We'll talk about it. I want to talk about Steven Universe. This was great. But yeah, please join us in a discussion. But as always, visit thefanright.com and all our social media pages for geek news, reviews, podcasts, contests, and giveaways. Catch you guys next time.